guys. Welcome to Monday's episode of the Chad Prather Show. A couple of things I want to get into. We're going to educate you. You know, that's what you do when you come here. You are ready to be educated and have your critical mind stretched. Or maybe we'll just have a little fun. I don't know. But I think we'll give you some stuff to think about because there's a lot of things moving and shaking in our world today. Elon Musk, Justin Trudeau, Mark Zuckerberg, all of them made a visit down to Mar-a-Lago just in this past weekend. What was talked about? What was going on? Let's get in on the conversation. To be a fly on the wall would be fantabulous, but I think I can predict a couple of the things that were discussed, and I want to talk to you about what I hope is going to come out of those meetings. We'll see. It's pretty interesting to see how, like a moth to the flame, so many are headed down to West Palm Beach, Florida to sit down in the presence of one Donald J. Trump, 47th president-elect of the United States. It's going to be good times, folks. It's going to be good times. I want to get into a couple of different tweets that are out there and see if we can make, some heads or tails of this promise of justice. We've got so many promises of justice, but will we see justice served in our country? Because there's a lot of wrongs that need to be righted. We're going to talk about that and more when we get going. Before we do, I want to remind you, I have a show coming up Friday night, Cuero, Texas, music show, Cooper Wade and me. And then we're going to be in the big show, the birthday show at Do-Si-Do, Spring, Texas. Get your tickets now, watchchad.com. That is going to be Saturday night. That is the 7th. And I got some special guests that are coming in there. No, Morgan Wallen will not be there, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe Post Malone. But just, you'll be there, okay? So December 7th. Then I'm taking off. I'm headed to Vegas. And, hey, baby, let's go to Vegas. And then I'm going to be going over to Tampa, Florida. Going to be in Wesley Chapel at Side Splitters. And then sort of finishing out the year in St. Cloud, Florida at the Comedy Club there. And then officially ending the year, New Year's Eve, Tyler, Texas. Go and get your tickets, watchchad.com, and then we're going to kick it off again with a whole new year of touring and a lot of big surprises that are on the way. So in the meantime, I want you to like and share this episode. I want you to click the like button. I want you to subscribe if you haven't done that, whether you're on Rumble or YouTube. Go where podcasts are offered. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Somebody gave me a damn 1-star review. Who does that? Because you know what? They said I'd become a fear-mongering Southern preacher on this show. They liked me when I was on The Blaze. They watched for 5 years. Kind of have a feeling they weren't watching consistently. You know what? You don't have to like me, but you don't have to leave a 1-star. What's the deal with a 1-star? What is the deal with a 1-star? I don't believe in them. It's like a unicorn around here. You're doing it just to be mean. 5 stars is what we deserve. I want you to click. I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to review, and I want you to remate. Don't remate, rate. Oh, gosh. Must be early or something. Let's bring on the man with the prettiest eyes, according to my mother. He is America's favorite producer, Royce Chamberlain.
What the heck is remate?
I don't know, but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, true.
I don't want to do it. I got 4 kids, 3 dogs, and a vasectomy. I'm not remating anything. The kids can get married and mate all they want, but no remating. I think that was a review and a rate that got into somewhere. M jumped in there. Got remated. I think that
one hit me out of nowhere. That was funny.
I got a turkey hangover, if you want to know the truth. I got turkey hangover, but let me tell you something, Royce. I want to talk to you a little bit about your Thanksgiving, but I'm telling you, I gotta show this. I've become addicted. This is my little tub here of Magic Mind. And I want to read the side of the box. Sharper Mind and Calm Energy, Magic Mind. You can see I've been drinking them. A couple days in, I just opened up a brand new box. They've got Lion's Mane, Bacopa. I always mess up these things. Cognizant.
Bacopa.
Yeah, for mental performance. Rhodiola, cordyceps, and matcha for calm energy. L-theanine, ashwagandha, and turmeric for less stress. And then vitamins B2, B3, B12, C, and D for vitality. I like vitality, especially when you're gonna remake. But these things, I keep them in the fridge. And you gotta. I called them. I said, "Give me a website," and they said, "Well, no, you don't even need anything special. We're running a deal, 50% off through December 6th. That's their Black Friday thing, which apparently just going to go for a week. Keep these things in the fridge. Pop that website up there if you still got. Do you still have that thing?
Oh, I got it. Hold up.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that Black Friday sale.
That's the Black Friday sale. It's magicmind.com / is it BF for Black Friday? Is that there?
It is. /Chad BF.
Chad BF. Magicmind.com / Chad BF. MAGICMIND.com / CHAD BF. Bravo Frank. All right. For Black Friday. But that's good stuff. I've been drinking it every day, and I'm a new man. It's just a little shot. And it doesn't. I mean, you know what it tastes like? People ask me, what does it taste like? And I said, it tastes delicious. It's like, you wouldn't want to drink a full big old cup of it because you could tell it's got some ingredients in there. You could tell you're drinking a supplement. But they did a good job of putting all that stuff together. And like I said, I take a lot of that stuff, like the ashwagandha and the L-theanine and the lion's mane. I take that stuff. But by the time I take all the supplements I take in the day, it's like eating a meal. So you just take it in a shot. But you got to do it every day. And I'll
tell you what, though, the idea of calm energy is nice because, you drink other products and it's like it gets you wiry, doesn't make you feel good after the fact. The idea of calm energy sounds nice. I
was at a restaurant last night. I was sitting at the bar at Good Company right here in the Woodlands, Texas. I love that restaurant. It's a little expensive, but I love them. It's a Mexican place, but it's they got good food. And the girls behind the bar, I was watching the Georgia game the other night, and that's when it was a couple of nights ago. So I was watching the Georgia game, and the bartenders behind the thing, they were leaned over. They had their head on the bar, the two girls. And I looked at them. I said, "What are you doing?" And they had their hands down in the ice tub with ice water in the sink. And they said, "We're trying to calm down." And I said, "From what?" And they pulled out this energy drink of like, I don't know, Magnum diesel fuel crap, whatever. And the girl goes, "I drink that much of that and I'm shaking all over. I'm shaking all over." And I said, "Girl, you're giving yourself a heart attack. You got to quit this stuff." And I told them about Magic Mind. I was like, Magic Mind, go over there and get it. You don't, and you know what? The thing is, these people get addicted to drinking crap. And they got to have something in their hand. And it's so bad for you, man. It's so bad for you. So anyway, Magic Mind gives you the calm energy. And they're shaking all over. And they said, if you put your hands in cold water, ice water, it helps calm that down. And I'm like, none of that seems right.
You shouldn't have to get to that point. That's pretty bad, man.
I shouldn't need a cold bath therapy for what I'm drinking. shouldn't have to do a cold plunge for what I'm drinking. So anyway, magicmind.com / Chad BF. Go check it out. It's 50% off right now. BF.
Not boyfriend. Black Friday.
No remating. But you can. I get the little 15 bottle deals right here, and I just put them in the fridge and go in there every day, and I pop one in, and it's pretty good. So, there it is. It's gone. Pow. Almost hit Donald Trump. He's back there fighting. He's still fighting.
He fought it off.
He's still fighting. We're still, by the way, I've got some more of these bobbleheads. If you go leave a rating and review, we're randomly picking people who leave a review. So we'll announce these giveaways here pretty soon. But I've got a couple more little Donnie T bobbleheads back there, the fight bobbleheads. So we'll give a couple of those away. Oh, you know what else I got? I'm selling these at my live show.
Okay.
I'm selling these at my live shows. I may put them online if they do well, but they're not cheap. And I want people to see them. I had these made. These are my Trump 47 jerseys.
That is sick, man.
Check it out. It's got a little camo pattern to it. And for football season, as we
like
to the college playoffs. And this is stitched.
Donald Trump.
Johnny T. And I got it stitched. So like the numbers are nice, like the name and all that. It's got the actual stitching on there. It's not that glue on stuff. But I had these made. Comes without tariffs. And but so anyway, I'm selling these at the live shows. I'm going to start. So if anybody wants to come out, I may stick them online, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap. I'm just telling you. They're not too expensive, but we have consumer confidence now that Donald Trump is back in office. So that's exciting. How was your Thanksgiving good though?
It was phenomenal. My parents make, like I told you last time, 2 turkeys. So I had like 3 plates of turkey and everything. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. We ate and then we ate again. We had the leftovers. I made macaroni and cheese because that's what people want me to do. A lot of people don't think macaroni and cheese goes with Thanksgiving. that tradition.
We didn't have any. We did not have any.
I've learned that most people don't, but I like it, and the kids always like it, and so I'm like, yep, I'll have me some of that. I did burn my arm. You can see if I can get to my pin. I can't turn that way, and I can't do it this way because there she is. See that?
Yeah, man, that's gnarly. Jeez, yeah. Right in the knee.
Right, yeah, she got a little scar. A little razor burn on her, but that's from frying a turkey. The hook, when it came off the turkey, it swung back and hit me in the arm. And what I had to do to fry the turkey, I'd lost my little apparatus. Party Foul Steve was here. He had cleaned up my garage a little bit, and he'd hidden my turkey frying utensils. He hung them up on the wall where I couldn't find them. And so I took coat hangers and fashioned them into a little thing that would go through the turkey and hold on to it. I still had the hook, though. And so I had to hook two of those hooks together and put them down. And so it was the second hook was swinging. When I took the thing off, I went to hang it up on the fence there so I could deal with the turkey in the pan. Swung right back.
You MacGyvered that up? You used coat hangers?
Yeah. I used multiple coat hangers. I put them together. I made like a little treble hook thing out of
like the wire coat hangers. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, and ran it up through the bird. But then I still had the other, the hooks that you're supposed to have. A day later, I found the rest of my apparatus because Party Foul Steve told me that he had hung it up on the wall. Everybody has a Thanksgiving adventure, right? I mean, there's always something. You guys were talking on Graham Allen's Dear America show the other day. I heard you guys, which I encourage everybody to check out Graham Allen. You guys are on what time? 9 Eastern, 8
Yep,
Central?
9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 9 Eastern, Dear America, Graham Allen. Royce is on there, Todd. It's a fun crew over there. But you guys were debating whether you call it stuffing or dressing.
Yeah.
Stuffing or dressing.
What do you before we get into this, what do you call it, Chad?
It's dressing.
It is not. It is stuffing, my friend.
I don't know why people
I Googled it. I don't know. And the correct term is stuffing.
You guys aren't coming at this logically. I don't know why. I don't know why people want to be Yankees. They just choose to be. It's weird. I don't know why you guys try to be from up north. So I understand that if you're stuffing the turkey with something, like you're throwing the onions and the celery and the crap in there, the carrots or whatever. Okay, now you have stuffing. Now, if you're making a casserole, which is a dressing, that is something that you dress the turkey with on the plate. So hence the name dressing. So I think I see them as two different things. You know what I'm saying? I see them as two different things. So if I make in a casserole dish, if I make a dressing, which is typically made out of cornbread and the celery and the onions and that kind of stuff, it's a cornbread dressing. I'm not sticking that in the bird. I don't know. Not sticking that in the bird.
That's just how I've always known to call it, is stuffing. And same with Tony from Dear America Show. But now while we're on the topic, I want to ask you, do you call it soda, pop, or Coke? How do you refer to it?
I call it by the name that's on the label.
Really?
Right,
you don't, but what's your name for it?
It's not pop and it's not soda. Now, I understand. I would never in a million years refer to something as pop. Now that's just me. I understand when people.
I know my wife does it. She's from Ohio. But it's soda to me. That's how I grew up. It's soda.
This is a soda. But like if I want a Coke Zero, I tell them I want a Coke Zero. If I want a Diet Coke, if I want a Dr. Pepper or a Diet Dr. Pepper, I specifically call it by the name that's on the deal. I don't like Pepsi products. I just don't. They're owned by Mormons anyway. I don't know why I just have to throw controversial things into something that was completely non.
You could have just not said that and we'd been completely fine. You could have just not said it.
But why? When there's an opportunity for controversy and trivia pops up, why not just say it so that it stirs people up? People get so mad at that stuff, and then they start commenting about, oh, did you hear what he said about the Mormons? They own Marriott hotels. Oh,
Media Matters is coming after you, man.
I would never stay at a Marriott hotel because they're owned by the Mormons. I know people like this, okay? I love Marriott hotels, but I don't like Pepsi, and it has nothing to do with the Mormons. And I will tell you this, if you go to Las Vegas, you're not getting a Coke. Some of that has changed a little bit, but if you're in Las Vegas, like I'm going to be this next week, basically Pepsi owns Las Vegas. It's impossible to get a pop in Las Vegas. It's not a Pepsi product. So
really,
that's a fact. And I have gone out there with friends. I've gone out there with friends who are Christians. I almost did this like they weren't. I almost did the
the Christian friends.
But I say it that way because it's like, okay, we got to Vegas for a couple of days. We're out there gambling, playing blackjack, craps, all the stuff. And they're like, I'm sorry, I can't drink a Pepsi product. They're owned by the Mormons. And I'm like, yet you're tossing dice.
I would never do that. Boom, tossing dice.
I could never. But no, I call it Coke. It's a Coke. In which I have a sordid past, so I have to be careful and very specific when I refer to something as Coke. I got to make sure that you know which product I'm referring to, because this one is $269 and the other $600 a week. All right. So you got to be careful with that sort of deal. But I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving, man. Royce, listen, I'm thankful for you, buddy. And I'm not trying to, blow it up your butt here. I can't even begin to tell people. Like, I was sitting here going completely independent on this podcast. Our last production company, they decided to go a separate way. And I was like, what am I going to do? I could self-produce and all this kind of stuff. Our good buddy, Elijah Mayo, was on the phone with him. And he said, you need to meet Royce Chamberlain. He works with Graham. And you and I called up, dude, and I called you up, and it was like, boom, there it was. And, man, I'm so thankful that you're here and a part of it. And it's so good that I'm like, please, God, don't let Royce go off somewhere and, like, work for Charlie Kirk or Jesus or something. I don't know.
I don't think I want to work for Charlie Kirk, if we're being honest.
I don't think you want to either. Nothing against Charlie. Charlie's doing a great thing.
I just like what I do.
Yeah, and you do a good job of it, and we have fun. Like and over at Graham. And by the way, I'm going to be on Graham's show this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm headed over. I've got to be in South Carolina. So Graham hollered at me and said, "Why don't you come on the show this week?" I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I said, but this week I'm on Graham's show. So Wednesday and Thursday, tune in. We'll also be doing this show, but tune in. To the 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Going to be sitting down with you guys over on Graham's show. That's a good time. You guys have a lot of fun.
Dear America. We got a big crew over there, so the conversations kind of go everywhere. And when you throw someone like you in the mix who just throws out Mormon, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I imagine. So it's a whole different dynamic.
Graham Allen and I go back forever. Graham and I, we connected back when neither of us knew anything about anything. We still don't know much, but I can remember Graham and I when we connected, and we've now been all over the country together. We've spent a lot of time in New York City, a lot of time in LA, Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, you name it, we've been there together. We've done it. We walked each other through the book writing process. We walked with each other through the transitions and changes. Graham's always got something new going on. And it's just I've valued his voice. I was one of the first on his Rant Nation, his old show. I think Matt Lyda and I, we were 1-2 in terms of Matt Lyda's with 9 Line Apparel. We were number 1 and number 2, his first guests. We were up in Washington, D.C. Graham is the reason I actually wound up on the Blaze. I met the executives at the Blaze through Graham. There's so many people I've met through Graham that I work with to this day. And so anyway, I love Graham, love his voice, and he's a valued dear brother of mine. So I'm excited to be on the show this week. It's cool stuff, and it's funny how you make those connections and they just last. So anyway, I want to talk about these folks that went down to Mar-a-Lago. Did you keep track with any of that stuff? I mean, I was
watching it.
Yeah, we were sort of busy through the holiday and the weekend and stuff, but you jump on Twitter and you get on there and you see kind of what's going on. I was interested to see, Elon Musk, who's got like 900 children. It's like they're named after stars and all these weird names and
numbers, X, R, P. Yeah.
He remates. Like Elon knows how to remate.
He does.
He's got baby mamas everywhere. And that dude just he's producing he's prolific, bro. So, but he was having Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago, and that has people just literally inflamed, right? Because they are saying, oh, he's like a co-president. We didn't vote for Elon Musk. Well, we didn't vote for 4.5 million unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. that are actually running things either. But here we are. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris in the primary. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris when she was in the primary back in 2019. Mm-hmm. And so, we still had to put up with her cackling nonsense. I'm not sure that many people voted for Joe Biden. I'm reasonably certain they didn't, but we had to live with that nonsense too. So you got the clip there. There's, Elon is over there at Mar-a-Lago. This was an interesting little transaction. First of all, you got Donald Trump. They're playing YMCA, and just play the clip. Let's talk through it a little bit if you got it there. Donnie Trump's got a little emotion going, which you never see. Elon's like, oh, I forgot, I got to pretend to be human here. He's got his hands in the air. Barron is engaged, and Melania is genuinely smiling at her husband, which is something you don't see very much. Donald Trump with some emotion there. Like, hey, I love watching this because it's almost like Trump finally found a friend, like... Like
it's so funny to see, though. It's like they really are buddies. He's like tapping him on the shoulder. Oh yeah, he's having a good time.
They're so awkward. They're so awkward.
Here's the thing. I don't think Trump is that awkward of a guy. I think he's got his little quirks and things that are funny because he's kind of an old man, right? It is what it is. But Elon's awkward, man. It's funny to see Elon tagging along with all this.
Yeah,
he's just forced himself to be a part of the family.
He's living his best life. I told you guys that I jumped on the Tesla website the other day just because I've never looked at an electric car. Like, I have no desire whatsoever, but I was curious about, like, I see living where I live, more and more people are driving these Cyber Beast Tesla trucks.
Yeah.
And they're big automobiles. They're big, ugly automobiles. I saw one yesterday that looked like a bass boat. It was red with like metal fleck in it. Which I thought, you get a Cybertruck, you redneck it right up. I mean, it looks like a bass boat. But I went on the thing and I was like, Elon is such an interesting character. And then I went into a Best Buy on Black Friday because I am that level glutton for punishment. I just needed to go be amongst the people. So I went into Best Buy, and right there at the front is all of the Starlink stuff, which I still like. I keep thinking I want like one of those mobile Starlinks for when I travel, like on the road travel. I was like, I think that would be handy, but I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about it. I don't know. I'm not practical enough. Like, I'm not smart enough to do the research to figure out, But
they're good, man.
Is it cool?
Oh yeah.
I mean, cool. I know people. I've used theirs, like out at certain places, camping or whatever. I've logged into theirs, but I don't have one, so I need to check that out. But I'm like, here's this guy who is just, he's just a blueprint guy. He's like an architect for all of these things. And now I kind of I've been a big critic of Elon Musk over the years, but I kind of like that he's right there underneath Trump, because that tells me there's some ideas that are flowing, right? There's some things, there's got to be some ideas. At least we know that Elon Musk, for whatever you think of him, he's a man of action. Now, he paid $40 billion and some change to buy Twitter, which I don't think still to this day people quite understand how monumental and revolutionary that was as a historical statement for him to come in and buy that. And all the critics who said, oh, he's going to lose everything, and he's profited from the deal. I mean, it's bigger than ever. And it's paved the way for the foundation for the continuation of free speech online. And again, I'm not talking about First Amendment rights here, because the government isn't taking your rights per se. It's a private entity that was doing it. But again, it's a publicly traded company, and that can't be happening the way that it was, that type of censorship. But he's opened up the door. I mean, I love the fact that I can get on Twitter, X, whatever, and I can refer to somebody as a little bitch, and I'm not going to get banned. Like, for instance, Julian Castro. You've got that clip. I'm going a little out of order here. That Julian Castro post that he put up here. I can't stand Julian Castro, but here's what he had to say about Thanksgiving. He said, everyone at the dinner table today, especially MAGA, please give thanks to the undocumented immigrants that picked and packed the food you're enjoying. They deserve our grace. Happy Thanksgiving. These people have a fascination with slavery. Like these people love the fact that somebody that doesn't get paid much money or whatever is working basically manual slave labor, if you will, and they deserve our grace. These undocumented immigrants. Well, I responded below that. I don't know if it's still there or not. That you can see it, where I say, "Get to picking, bitch."
And solid.
An hour before that, I posted it like day 53 of our prayers. But there's Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer said, "Why don't we just deport them?" So I can't disagree. I mean, again, believe it or not, people throughout history have found a way to feed themselves. Leave the cave, go down to the river, club something over the head, drag its carcass back to the cave, and either marry it or eat it. Sometimes both. We've found a way to feed ourselves. But thanks to Julian Castro, and then there was another post I saw over the weekend where somebody said, "Oh, tell me how deporting 10 million illegals is going to lower the price of eggs." Again, you guys are comparing apples to oranges. That's not what we're talking about here. But I love the fact that I can get on to X and I can have these conversations, and I can be pretty crass with it as well. So it's monumental what Elon has done. And I believe, I hope, I'm praying that we're going to see that spread a little bit to other social media categories. So Mark Zuckerberg went down to Mar-a-Lago. He had a meeting with Donald Trump. By all estimations and reports, he wants to be part of the transition back to the renewing of the American spirit. Zuckerberg is another one on the spectrum there. He's a weird cat. That's a weird dude, man. And like, there's an element
lizard
of evil.
Man.
He's a lizard man. There's an element of evil to him. Like I'm sort of hopeful that since he's been doing all the MMA and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that some of the testosterone rubbed off on him and he's becoming a little bit more of a man. He told Donald Trump, he called him on the phone back during the election time. He said, "I'm going to vote for you because that was the most badass thing I've ever seen when you got shot," and then stood up and started yelling, "Fight." He said that publicly. And he said to Trump, he said, "I'm not going to vote for a Democrat." And I say he voted for Trump. I don't know that he voted for Trump, but he told Trump he could not vote for a Democrat after witnessing that display of bravery and courage. Zuckerberg has a lot of stuff that he needs to make up for. Now, Laura Loomer, she posted on X and said that if you've ever been screwed over by Zuckerberg, basically, I want to hear about it because I want to give this information to Donald Trump. If you've ever been victimized, this is Laura Loomer, by Mark Zuckerberg, please post your personal story below. I want to hear what has happened to you and what he did to you. Then I'm going to make sure all of your stories are sent to President Trump. And I think Laura Loomer can get them there. Yeah. And so I posted underneath that. I said, for those of you who followed my campaign for governor here in Texas, I said, running in the gubernatorial primary in Texas, my Facebook accounts were shut down 7 days before Election Day, March 2022. We sued Facebook, received a restraining order lifting the ban. It was soon overturned because we weren't doing business in California. You have to be a California business to be able to truly have a lawsuit against them. But we were the first entity. I'm the first person in the state of Texas to ever sue Facebook and actually get a positive, or Meta, and get a positive response. We actually won. Not to mention the fact that mypoliticalcowboy.com overnight went from 750,000 unique visitors a day to 3,500. That was all because of Facebook throttling and censoring, which put a huge dent in my pocketbook back in 2017, January 27th of 2017 to be specific. So Zuckerberg's victimized a lot of people, especially if people built their career. I mean, these days, Royce, you can't do business without social media. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in sales, if you're promoting anything, if you use social media to get your stuff. I mean, we could go back to having television commercials, but we just spent all week last week talking about how people aren't watching television anymore. People, radio is still a powerful resource, but, by and large, people are getting their information off of satellite radio, their entertainment off of Alexa, Google, Apple, whatever your little listening device is in the home that they're using to spy on you, or they're using social media. Well, Facebook has almost become useless. It's inundated with trolls, people trying to scam you. I had somebody that came to a show last week that thought that she was in a relationship with me for the last 3 months. She wasn't. Safe to say she wasn't. People getting asked for money, getting scammed. And these people, they get totally convinced that they're in a conversation with somebody like Russell Brand. They're not. And you would think that doesn't happen, but it does. And then the throttling. I put that I'm going to be at Do-Si-Do in Spring, Texas on December 7th. 31 people liked that post. 31 people versus 3,300 that are going to like today's morning prayer. So again, if I'm putting stuff out there that is just not promoting anything, is and God forbid you put a word on a picture and post it, because they're going to throttle that. God forbid you put a third-party website on there. Like, if all of my people, like, I still, after 10 years of doing this show, if I post something about having a podcast, people are like, you should have a podcast. Like, you should have a podcast. And I'm like, out of the millions of people who follow me on social media, you still don't know that I have a podcast that I've been doing for 10 years. It's all because of this throttling. So Zuckerberg says he wants to be a part of it. Well, Zuck, the first thing you need to do is you need to make it right, dude. You need to go find that big fat red button like the Wizard of Oz and push it. And you need to you need to reset everybody's algorithms. If somebody subscribed to me, if they said, if the millions of people who said they want to follow Chad Prather and his content, then they should be able to see that dadgum content. It doesn't matter if it takes it off the website. Now, I mean, you'll sit there and reward these Nigerian and Pakistani scammers that are out there with zero recompense for what they're doing to scam your users. But a guy like me who's running honest businesses trying to promote things, you won't let people see it anymore. Graham Allen and I used to do a video in our truck. Tens of millions of people would watch that thing. We knew immediately if it was going to go viral within 5 minutes. We knew if the video was going to go viral. Now it's doing good to get 100,000 quote views. We don't know if that's real or not. So you can't get anywhere with any of this stuff. We would all be better off. Let us do business, dude, without you throttling that stuff. So until he's ready to undo all of that, I have no. I mean, Elon Musk spent his money to support free speech. Zuckerberg has proven nothing to me. Nothing to me. What do you think, Royce? Do you think he's going to turn and maybe make some things right, or are we just still going to be screwed? I have no faith in it.
I think Zuckerberg definitely made some ill choices in the past. I think maybe he didn't know what he was doing. We already know that the government talked to him during all this saying, hey, you got to do this. This is what's right. He was kind of being persuaded. But nowadays, it kind of seems like he's able to give his own opinion, and he's developing his own thoughts on politics and what really is right and constitutional. And I do think, just from what's been slowly coming from him, what we've been hearing, what we've been seeing, that he is making his way around slowly, very slowly. But and I know that doesn't excuse all the stuff that he did, throttling, ruining people's careers, shutting people's accounts down. How he affected the election is massive. He affected the election in a massive way in 2020 and all that stuff. It doesn't excuse all of that, but to see someone like him come around from what he had done, you know what I'm saying, is an incredible testament to the movement that Donald Trump has and the MAGA movement itself. Like, it's opening the eyes of these people who did this insane crap back in the day, and they're able to look back and say, you know what, that's actually not right. I hear what the people are saying. That's not right. And he's starting to come around. For him to even meet with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, for him to even go out on a podcast and say, hey, him pumping that fist in the air was the coolest thing I've ever seen. For him to even do that, I think, is a huge step in the right direction. And I don't know if he has a plan or any thought to correct the stuff that he's done in the past, or how he could even do it. But I do think he's working his way around.
I hope you're right. And, these guys, I've said this before on the show about Elon, is you got to watch these guys who try to put themselves in the center of the action, right? because there's an agenda. There's always an agenda. So you take them with a little bit of a grain of salt, a little bit of caution, a little bit of wariness and wisdom. And so these guys that are always trying to be in the middle of everything, why? Why are you in the middle of everything? What do you have to gain by this? Elon Musk has definitely placed himself in the middle of all of this. Zuckerberg, I agree with you. I think that's a step in the right direction. I mean, he could be off meeting with George Soros, right? He could be off meeting with some lefty administration. It could be some weird nefarious thing going on. He could be at one of those deals where they sacrifice people and drink their blood. And I'm not saying he's not. I don't know, but we'll see. But I like the fact that he's at least making that step in the right direction. That is a positive, and I agree with you on that. I hope he'll make some recompense, though. I think because again, there were people whose lives were destroyed, elections were affected, their careers were lost, and he lied to Congress. He sat there and lied to Congress, and so I want some of that stuff to be. It's one thing to say I'm not going to do that again. I think there's some amends need to be made. Let's spread some of that wealth back around, dude. And I will say I think we're sitting in a catbird seat in terms of our opportunity to go out and utilize what's in front of us with what I think the economy is about to do. I think. We're sitting in a situation where people can make a lot of money in the next couple of years, at least till the midterms. I think we can. And I think there's a lot of these guys, we're going to see some turnaround. I think we're going to see some stuff where a lot of the burdens are going to get off people's backs. Maybe we can return some things and do something called Make America Great Again. I think that's what a
simple as that. It's not a complicated term.
What a novel concept. And then all secretly, we're just doing Project 2025. So.
You're not supposed to say that. That's supposed to tell everybody.
We're not supposed to let everybody know. I like that's another one of those things that, like the Mormons, I like putting that out there just so they can steal that one little clip. They can steal that one little sound bite and go, see, we told you. We have it on the authority of Chad Prather. They're really trying to import and institute Project 2025. Vindman, Alex Vindman, those of you who remember him, he's kind of the Vindman boys. They're sort of nervous because they're afraid this Department of Government whatever Doge efficiency, all of these guys, they're scared that these guys like Elon and those guys are going to come after them. He popped this thing up here. There's no love lost with them. Vindman, he basically says that Elon Musk is just acting on behalf of Vladimir Putin. Play this clip.
Clearly, Putin has a type. He likes narcissists and egomaniacs that he knows as a case officer he could easily pander to and manipulate to do his dirty work. We are under attack. Russia has been using different levers, whether that's corruption networks. In this case, it's influencers like Donald Trump, like Elon Musk, to really kind of sow discord. And it's particularly troubling with Elon Musk in this case because Elon Musk has access to state secrets. He has top secret security clearance. It's possible that some of that is seeping through. Putin has been very effective in playing both Trump and Elon, and he's been using the richest man in the world to do his bidding. In some cases, that's encouraging him probably to support Donald Trump. That's not speculation. We see how far in Elon has gone. And then using Twitter as a disinformation platform. So this is not some sort of far off, distant threat. This is this going to impact our elections. It's a national security threat.
So do we have that tweet, the actual tweet that he put out there, or the post? I don't know what you're supposed to call them these days. Do we have that one where Elon responded back to him?
Yeah.
That's the one. So, so there's the actual tweet right there where he says, Alexander Vindman has accused Elon Musk of divulging state secrets to Vladimir Putin. Now, there's no basis for that whatsoever. There's no basis for that whatsoever. So if Elon Musk, if he is the type that Vindman is talking about that Putin has, well, what about Zuckerberg going down there? What to Mar-a-Lago? What about Jeff Bezos, who also is arguably the richest man in the world, who said, okay, he threw some support. He threw some very positive stuff towards the Trump campaign. And very, very solid congratulations to Donald Trump. Is he being manipulated by Vladimir Putin as well? But he says the real reason he supports Trump is because Putin ordered him to do so. This is according to the account at Ketchup Feed. Here's what Elon Musk said. He said Vindman is on the payroll of Ukrainian oligarchs and has committed treason against the United States, for which he will pay the appropriate penalty. Dude, I'm here for it. Like, okay, let's go. Let's see. Let the chips fall where they may. If you got the goods, if you got the proof, if you've got the evidence and you can verify that, I want to see all of it. Yeah, if Vindman's got the evidence, this is sort of like when Adam Schiff sat there in Congress and said that he had unequivocal, beyond the shadow of a doubt, proof that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia. And he never got any accountability for that blatant lie. When 3 years of our time, 2 years of our time, and $30 million was spent on the Mueller report, the Steele dossier, all these things. These people lie, they lie, they lie. So I'm at a point, and I think the rest of our listeners are as well. At this stage in the game, show us the proof. Hey, if Donald Trump was on Epstein's list, if he went down to the island, I want to know. But Elon Musk is saying on January 20th, we're going to release the Diddy and the Epstein lists. Let's go. I think if Trump's on the list, I don't think if he's paid by Putin, I don't think he's real eager to release that list. So I don't even think they would even be talking about it. So which is it? Which is it in this case? Vindman is a trash traitor to the United States. He's a traitor to the uniform. He is absolutely seditious. The guy's a liar. He's an anti-Trump activist, and I have no doubt believing he probably is on the Ukrainian oligarchs payroll. Here we go. How much Royce is going to get exposed, if any? We're going to expose anything here?
What do you mean? Like expose Elon, expose Trump?
Are we going to expose any of this? Well, I don't know, everything from the Epstein list to the Diddy list. I think the Diddy list is going to come out pretty. The
Diddy list is going to lock up a lot of A-list celebrities. I think that's going to be a huge couple of weeks or months, however long that takes. But what baffles me more about a video like this is these Democrats are trying to accuse people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump of being on the bad side. They're colluding with Putin. They're a part of Russia. They're being paid by Ukraine, all this different stuff. They're trying to accuse them to be on the bad side. I didn't vote for who I thought was on the good side and the bad side. I voted for who aligned with my values, who I thought was going to protect the things that I value and represent, biblical things, not the side that's going and changing their gender and doing all that. That seems evil to me. So I don't know what the involvement here is with Putin or whatever, if any. I doubt there is any. I don't think there is. No. Because biblical, if your views are biblical, I don't think that you're involved with this. I don't think the Democrat Party would switch to those biblical views, because they're evil.
No.
Because those are the views, those are satanic views, satanic things that they are trying to push. And they're now trying to flip it like, no, you're the bad ones. Right. Causing confusion, like they're the party of confusion, gender confusion, sexual confusion, all this crap. They're confused on if they're the good or bad guys. Read the Bible. Read what this country was founded upon, what the rock of this country's constitution is built on. That's the biblical beliefs. Right. They're the ones who have strayed so far away and then coming back and accusing us of being evil. I didn't vote for who I thought was good or bad. I voted for what aligned with my values. And that is what Donald Trump and Elon Musk stand for.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see them be like, oh, they are colluding with Ukraine and Putin, and they're being, puppeteered by Vladimir Putin and all this crap. Like, no, they're not, man. No, they're not.
They're always, and you make an excellent point, dude, about they're the ones who are confused. They're the ones who are confused. Why in the world why would you betray yourself? Like, why would you spend all of your money, time, energy, and efforts to run for an office that's ultimately going to expose you for your sins and crimes against humanity? Why would you do that? Trump at any time could have gotten on his airplane, flown to a country of non-extradition, and lived as a lavish billionaire lifestyle, as a playboy, doing whatever he wanted to do for the rest of his life without all of this persecution. Why would you fight for what you're getting when you know it's going to bring you down in the long run. These people have consistently, and we have proven this time and again, they've proven it. We don't even have to lift a finger. They've proven that everything they accuse the right of doing, they're guilty of doing themselves. And then they turn around and try to use that same logic against us. It's amazing to me how they do that. The gaslighting is surreal, bro. So, you make an excellent point on that. They are the people of confusion. They can't figure out which gender they are. They can't figure out who ought to be competing in which sport and which bathroom to use. And then they're going to try to tell us that we're the ones that lack mental clarity. This is good versus evil, brother. This is good versus evil. And thank God we saw the providence of the Lord's hand in this election, because these people, they'll lie. They will straight to your face, man. And their lies actually have consequences, whether it's banning you on Facebook or putting you in a freaking train car somewhere. Hillary Clinton said these people need to be re-educated. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? I mean, that is Orwellian 1984 philosophical nonsense. And that is actually what they want to do. How many fingers am I holding up? The state says 6. We're going to keep shocking your brain until you say 6. And so here we are. All right. What else? We got anything else to get to before we jump out of here? I want to say though, I want to talk to you about United Patriot Coin in a minute. Before we do that, before we jump out of here, we got anything else we need to?
We have the Mexican president.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about that, because this might change at any minute right here. So over the weekend, or I should say last week, there was a lot of talk about the new Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. She's Jewish, by the way. I mean, we didn't know who thought that we would have a Mexican president with a Jewish name. She is Jewish, actually. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum will not close the U.S.-Mexico border. Just last week, under the threat of the tariffs, she said she would shut it down, and that was in essence going to be our border wall. Mexico was going to be our border wall. But now she denies Trump's claim that she agreed to shut down the U.S.-Mexico border and says they're going to keep it wide open. So let me just say, this is a bold statement for those of you who are listening. There's not a single elected official in the nation of Mexico that is not placed and approved by the cartel. There's not a single one of them that is in a position of power that was not vetted, purposed, and placed by the cartels. So this woman, she got a phone call, and they said, no, sister, no. It stays open. And she now went back on the claim, and she's going to find out the hard way, Royce, that this is not the way, because the cartels are going to find out pretty soon that this is not the way. I'm all for preemptive strikes. I've said this over and over again. You send some tier 1 operators into Mexico. Listen, if I was president of the United States, I'd be tempted to own the first 100 miles of Mexico south of our border. We're about to do some American expansion here. And this has been an invasion. I think we have the full right to do it against the cartels, not against the citizens, not against the military per se, but against the cartels. I think we need to name them transnational narco terrorists, and it needs to be free game on these people, everything from drone strikes to door kicking. And these people need to be eradicated. They've smuggled fentanyl into our country. Hundreds of thousands of people have died because of it. China needs to be held accountable for it as well. But I'd say anything, you want to build a freaking border wall, I'd say we have a no-go zone for about 10 miles, and then we own the next 90. That's how aggressive I want to be on that deal. I've said over and over again, our border wall needs to be so commercialized that people can go shopping in it. We'll have a wall mall. You can get stuff at the Wall Mart and get your drugs at the Wall Greens and eat a hamburger at the Wall Burgers. We'll put those people go shopping. I want to be able to see it from space, dude. I want a monorail train on the top of that thing. You can go from the Gulf of Mexico to New Mexico. You can travel the entire distance of the wall. I want to be able to put windmills on top of that thing for electric energy and let it be the last obstacle. So when Miguel's putting that last foot over, it bumps his ass back into Jalisco, where he's back in the agave fields chopping up tequila plants like God intended him to do, man. And I'm telling you, I want boom. I want to Yeah, we'll televise it. It'll be like Mexican Ninja Warrior. They'll be trying to crawl across into America, and we'll televise this thing as they just pop their ass back into Mexico. I ain't messing around, dude. This has been a full-blown, full-scale invasion. Read your Bibles. Go read the book of Nehemiah. Go read everything you need to read about how God values walls and borders and national security. And it is no different here. We've lived with the nonsense. Lake and Riley, the young Nungaray girl, so many others would still be alive if it wasn't for Biden's blood on his hands, federal administrative actions that opened up our borders and let these people in here, and just standing on camera going, don't come. That's not an effective foreign policy issue whenever you're dealing with invasions coming across our border. So she's going to find out the hard way. I want Trump to teach them a lesson. The cartels aren't in control. The cartels don't get to dictate what happens here in the United States of America. They don't get to determine our policy. They don't get to dictate who comes into this country. And I say wipe them out, eradicate them. They're trash. They're human traffickers. It used to be about marijuana and cocaine. Now it's about human beings and fentanyl. So we need to take this thing seriously, or we're going to see an escalation like never before, because these people are emboldened by crap like this. When Mexican President Scheinbaum says, no, we're not going to close the Mexican border. So you know what we do? We close Mexico. And people are like, oh, really? Who's going to pick your avocados? Are you going to? No. You don't understand. That's going to make the price of eggs go up. We don't get eggs from Mexico. The stuff that comes from Mexico, you tariff the hell out of it. And I mean, you absolutely make them pay. The majority of Mexico is a third world country anyway. They're going to find out real quick, but you make them pay, and we can do that. So anyway, any thoughts, Royce?
I do.
You're Cubano. What do you got?
I am Cubano, but I've never stepped a foot in Cuba, for being honest.
Completely different country, by the way.
Completely different country. Yes. No, man, here's what I think. It's actually kind of hilarious. These countries like Canada and Mexico think they can just leave their borders open and they can just do what they want because we've let them do it for so long. But I don't think people really understand like the reality of how hard America can become the bad guy very quickly.
Yeah.
We are strong. I think our military is actually hiding a ton of the technology that we have. And like we don't understand exactly how hard we could smack some of these countries in the face and just say, and you're done. Like we're kind of just letting them toy around like, oh, what's up, little guy? What do you do? Oh, you're opening your borders, but it's become serious. And like the cartel doesn't stand a chance, dude. Like, where's the threat here? I don't see the threat. I don't see a reason why, besides us just being a decent country, why we wouldn't get mad enough and just blow up Mexico, like, because we can, and just take it for ourselves. Be like, no, cartel's gone. Mexico's ours now. 51st state. Like, we could do it, but we're not going to. But we're letting them toy around too much. They're poking the bear right now, and they don't want someone like Donald Trump in office because he understands how powerful we are and how much they're hurting our country. Same with Canada. Canada understands what they're doing. It's not being looked at the same way as Mexico, but Canada understands how much they're hurting America. You know what country has like the weakest, out of like the main countries, the weakest military? It's Canada.
Yeah.
Canada's military sucks.
Yeah.
And they're right next to the largest military, strongest military in the world.
Yeah.
And they're toying with us right now. And they don't want to when Trump's in office. And that's why Trudeau went and called him and is meeting him at Mar-a-Lago, because they know the bad things are coming if they keep toying.
And I love that little picture of Trudeau when Trump greeted Trudeau there at Mar-a-Lago. It's almost a semi-embrace, and like he's just kind of shaking hands and holding arms, that little embrace handshake there. And you've got, let's not forget that he is literally Hitler, right? Trump is literally Hitler, but now they're all ready to make nice with him because, again, Canada, you have to have the power and might and the economy of the United States government. You have to have us or you are in trouble. Who's going to come save you? King Charles? I don't think so. I don't think so. He's a tabloid monarch. So he's not going to do it. The British government's not going to do it. So we've already seen that they'll play in the French and the British government will play in cahoots with the Biden administration because they allowed Ukraine to toss British and French missiles, just like Biden did American missiles, into Russia. So again, they're not going to play that way. And if you want to defy us, if you want to defy the Trump administration, let me just say 3 names: Mexico, Moab bomb, General Soleimani, and El Baghdadi. They'll that right there. Those 3 examples will prove to you that you just don't mess around. If you're gonna play with the cartels, if you're gonna play with the weak-minded policy nonsense that ultimately costs the lives of American citizens, it's a new regime, baby. It's a new regime. New regime. Man, we went a lot longer than we were going to go, Royce.
We did. For almost an hour.
Bro. It's like a little family reunion. We match. Golly, we are so simpatico, dude. Look at us.
I got the NASA on today.
You're gold and black, and I'm black and gold, and we don't plan any of this stuff. God, it's like my brother I never had.
A couple of bumblebees over here.
It's like the little brother I never had. I'll put it that way. I got 2 older brothers.
I'm your son. What are you talking about? I could be your son, bro.
You are. I've got 2 daughters older than you.
There you go.
There you go. Let's talk about real quick before we get out of here. I don't want to fail to mention my buddies over at United Patriot Coin. Listen, if things are getting crazy, make sure you got that gold and silver bullion, or you're invested in gold, because let me tell you, as long as history has been going on, people have valued these precious metals. Gold is not going to lose its value. In fact, here recently it's been at an all-time high, which is always proof that the dollar cash value is actually going down. So make sure that you have things in your portfolio that are worth something, and gold is that way. I have people just the other day, somebody asked, can we buy gold from you? Me personally, like we want to see what we can buy from you. People are getting this stuff. My friends over at United Patriot Coin, they do a phenomenal job. They are reliable, they are sensible, they're easy to talk to. You can call them on the phone. I encourage you to follow them over on social media at United Patriot Coin, but visit them, UnitedPatriotCoin.com. They've recently had the fight packs. They've had the different bullion packs that you can subscribe and get every single month. They had the Trump fight coin. They only had 200 of those. You had to call them and get them. Call them up. They may still have a couple more left. It's pretty cool. But they're always there. I am. Look at me right there. Perfect little picture of me holding that 100-ounce silver bar. That's that's a heavy thing right there too. And forget the fact that I'm sitting under a Bud Light neon sign. We're not going to go that route. But they always have these specials going on. You can join up. You can get every month. They'll send you your Patriot Pack, and it's amazing, the stuff. They're good, personable people, and guess what? They're just right down the road from where I'm sitting right now. So tons of cool stuff. UnitedPatriotCoin.com. Call them on the phone. Tell them I sent you and see what they can set you up. Need to move your money over, your retirement money over, put it over in precious metals. They can help you with that as well. But I always encourage people, get a little bullion on hand. I keep silver and gold. I always have it. I tipped a kid, Royce. I had somebody who did something for me the other day, and I tipped him with a little piece of gold, which was about a $200 tip. And I handed it to him. Yeah, it was about a $200 tip for a service he did for me. And I said, here's the deal, son. I'm going to do something for you, and you're not even going to really understand what I'm doing for you. And I handed him that little piece of gold, and he goes, what is this? And I said, it's gold. And he goes, what do I do with it? And I said, if you're smart, you hang on to it. I said, and he goes, and I said, I'm going to let you find out what that's worth. Okay. But it was the equivalent of about $220 a piece of gold, and I left him. I have no idea if he ever figured it out. He probably put it in his pocket and sent it, through the washing machine. Who knows? But every now and then I like to do that, and I can get those little deals like that at United Patriot Coin. So anyway, check them out. Oh boy, howdy, Royce, man! You know what we get to do? We get to wake up tomorrow and do this all over again.
We do.
You know what I want to talk about in the next episode? I want to talk about AOC running for president in 2028. Okay. I've got some things to say on that. So let's get out of here. Let's continue on with the week. And then I get to see you a lot this week. I'm going to be on Graham's show, Wednesday and Thursday. You'll be on there. We'll continue doing our thing. We'll just keep on rocking and rolling. Are you excited about Christmas, or has it even crossed your mind yet?
Oh, dude, I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite, man.
like
Thanksgiving is there because the food, and then Christmas is there just because the childhood excitement still lives inside of me, brother. Still lives inside of me. I see the family. I love buying gifts for people and giving it to them, watching them open it and be all excited.
Yeah.
We always get someone like a big gift every year. So.
I love that. I love that. I am a gift giver. That is my love language. Anybody that knows me knows I like to do things for other people. I took some kids. People say, why did you go to Best Buy on Black Friday? Because we went and bought some of those Oculus things for some kids that needed them.
Nice.
I was like, we're going to bless some kids with those Oculus, the Meta deal or whatever. And so we took some kids that maybe didn't have so much money, and we bought them some gifts, and a couple of kids got those deals. So
that's awesome.
I just wanted to poison their mind. I just want to give them something that would poison their mind. And
poison them.
It put them in front of another screen. And sometimes it's okay just to have a little fun, people. Sometimes it's
the screens keep getting closer and closer the older I get.
Yeah.
Now they're like, they're right there.
The screens are right. You're in a whole other dimension. So what did we do? We gave virtual reality to poor kids is what we did. The Wi-Fi that they're going to use it on, that's up to them. Okay. That's up to their little poor asses, but we gave them a little virtual reality, something that they could escape the trailer, when they pull it down, they see mom over there cooking meth, but then they can go back into Gotham at any given time.
That's right. That Batman game is on there. They're going from one. I mean, why even play the Batman game if you're in that scenario? It's the same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, prathertees.com. Check it out. I think you can still get this Chad Prather Unapologetic. I think we had these things on sale. We've been running our clearance deal, $10 tees. That's our Black Friday deal. We're going to do it. Today is Cyber Monday, so we'll keep that deal running. But $10 tees. There's some T-shirts on there that shouldn't be $10 because they're still newer designs. But I encourage people to go over there and grab them while you can. And watchchad.com. Come hang out with me. Going to be at in Cuero, Texas. Going to be at Dosido in Spring, Texas this weekend. So watchchad.com is where all the fun stuff is. And I'll remind everybody to click like and subscribe and share and leave us a rating and a remate. Leave us a review. And you can also go to watchchad.com, scroll down on the menu, click podcast. You can listen to this podcast right there on watchchad.com. The player is right there on the podcast category, and we're rocking and rolling. All right, Royce, any last words, any parting words before we say goodbye?
That's all I got. We'll see you guys tomorrow and on Dear America.
On Dear America. I'm excited about it, dude. Going to be doing some traveling this week. I'm basically not going to be home for the next 3 weeks. Got a lot going on. So, Royce, I appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys for listening, tuning in, watching, sharing, and clicking like. We love you so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless. Bye.